my desire to sponsor the bill for the establishment of Federal Medical Center Mubi. Mr. Speaker, sir, respected colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it will be recalled that sometime in 2014, Mubi was attacked and completely taken over by members of Boko Haram. They changed the Mubi's name to Madinatul Islam. Many lives were lost. They destroyed infrastructures they could lay their hands on, including security formations, schools, health facilities, and places of worship, mosques and churches. When Mubi was recaptured by the Nigerian army, the resilience and firm hospitality proved more powerful than the destructions occasioned by the insurgents. Relative peace was returned, properties destroyed were rebuilt, and business was returned to normal. Mubi received more than 200,000 displaced persons from Borno State. Most of them have finally settled in Mubi due to the comfort and safety they experience in Mubi. And since then, the Mubi, it is overpopulated. The population has been rising. During the period of unfortunate crisis, medical personnel working in Mubi and many people who serve as volunteers play a major role attending to medical needs of those that are in need. In the entire area occupied by Boko Haram in Adamawa State and some part of southern Borno, the biggest general hospital around was in Mubi, and the first ever response center for victims of insurgency was established at the General Hospital Mubi. The center provided the first response for victims of Boko Haram attack in all the local governments areas in Adamawa, North Senatorial District, and the Hong, Gombe in the Central Zone, Askira Oba, Goza, and Chibok in Borno State. It was a unique initiative which saved many lives and was later supported by the UN through its several agencies, such as UN, OCHA, and UNICEF. Many more lives would have been saved if Mubi had a tertiary institution. A historical debate. We people of Mubi province, Munabin Nigeria Bash. On the 11th of February 1961, our parents voted willingly to integrate into the Nigerian state with 146,296 votes, representing 60%, as against those who did not support the integration, who had 97,659, which is just 40%. Our votes were won by what the then Prime Minister said: join Nigeria for peace and progress. Otherwise, poverty and hardship. Where are we now? It is therefore incumbent on Nigeria to give us peace and progress, and certainly not poverty and hardship. We are therefore Nigerians by choice. Even when Cameroon took the UK government to the International Court in May 1961, the people of Mubi did not testify against joining Nigeria. Yes. On the day we were received by the then Northern Regional Minister of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, late Mamman Bashir, who later became Emir of Daura, he made a pledge to us. Today we receive you as brothers and sisters. Your province will remain as it is, like all other provinces in northern Nigeria. And your capital, Mubi, will be of equal status with Katsina, Kano, and Ilori. Has that pledge been fulfilled? No. Definitely no. But then, since Kano, Katsina, and Ilori all have federal government tertiary health facilities, that part of the pledge can be fulfilled by establishing a federal medical center in Mubi.
Hello?
At this juncture,
wait,
I want to address...
Excuse me, Please, we don't clap at public hearings like this. Please, please, please. So, just, you have more 3 minutes to round up, my brother. All right.
At this juncture, I want to address some faulty arguments may come up. It has been observed that many people are of the view that it is allowed to have one federal tertiary health institution in each of the states of the federation. For this group of people, the existence of teaching hospital in Yola lost any chance for establishing another federal tertiary health institution in the state. I wish to debunk such view, considering the fact that Kaduna State has 4 federal tertiary health institutions, a teaching hospital, National Air Care Center, National Eye Care Center, and Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital. Lagos State has 3, teaching hospital, Federal Medical Center, and Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital. Edo State has 3, teaching hospital in Benin, teaching hospital in Irua, and Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital. Enugu has 3, teaching hospital, National Orthopedic Hospital, and Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital. Borno State, Sokoto Cross River has 2, each teaching hospital and Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital. Ogun State has 4, Neuropsychiatric Hospital and Federal Medical Center. The Federal Capital Territory has teaching hospital and 2 Federal Medical Centers. Why Federal Medical Center in Mubi? The argument had been so succinctly advanced by my sister at the Senate, Senator Aisha Pinani, and other distinguished senators during the Senate public hearing that they may not require rehash here. It is important to note that the FMC, it is established, will serve a population of over 2 million people, much more than the population of some states of the Federation. In the Federation, several local government areas of Adamawa State and 5 Borno State, namely Mubi North, Mubi South, Mayhami, Chakamadagaali in Adamawa North Senatorial District, Hong and Gombe, Adamawa Central, as well as Chibok, Gwaza, Askira Uba, part of Howell and part of Diu. There is deep-rooted historical affinity between Gwaza and Mubi, who in the past has same native authority. While Borno, sorry, I'm in final, sir. Thank you. The Polytechnic Mubi, which admits more than 60% of it are students from the different parts of Nigeria. Well, I'm in final, sir. Thank you, sir. What I said? Okay, let me go. The last word, let me once again express sincere gratitude and appreciation to the leadership of the House Committee on Health and all of you that found time to grace this important occasion. Let me offer big anticipatory appreciation to both chambers of the National Assembly, knowing that we will pass. Thank you.
We are on live to GTV Africa, live from National Assembly, where the bill to establish the Federal Medical Center has been presented. The mover of the motion I just addressed the House to let the whole House know exactly what is on. It's a bill for an act to establish the Federal Medical Center really in Gombe State and for other related matters. We are on live to GTV Africa from National Assembly, and joining us live through the services of GTV Africa. I'm sure you are not surprised to see, because it's one of our arts, that anytime something of importance is going on, we bring it to the public, we bring it to you wherever you are. And you can see this. Honorable Ajibola right now is about to speak on another matter, on the same matter. If I have my way, I'm going to have an interview with some people that will tell you the benefits and why they are so important. You can see the house. The whole house is filled up with numbers of people that came in respect of the event.
My honorable colleagues, clerk of this committee, the honorable minister of FCT, the DG of the Nigerian Law School, distinguished personalities, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I am Honorable Dr. Igboora Muraina. I represent Barapa Central, Barapa North, Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I am from Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I stand before you this afternoon to humbly seek your valued support to allow this bill to pass this public hearing test. This is a very straightforward piece of legislation. In Nigeria, our numerous political and socio-economic problems have resulted in aggravated, weak healthcare delivery system, making it difficult, if not impossible, to achieve universal health coverage. Throughout Nigeria, access to quality healthcare is a luxury. It is either unavailable or very expensive, far beyond the reach of the common man on the street. Yes, there is proliferation of private hospitals charging exorbitant fees. This has not been matched with the desired quality of healthcare delivery system in place to advance the health status of Nigerians. While successive governments have made concerted efforts to promote health equity, quality, and ensure unrestricted access to health services, the majority of citizens are still grappling with the various health challenges. Public health as an important element of national security not only functions to provide adequate and timely medical care, but also track, monitor, and control disease outbreaks. Indications from research are to the effect that 1 in every 6 children dies before the age of 5 in Nigeria due to lack of access to adequate health care. For improved child survival, the barriers to accessing health care in Nigeria must be eliminated to enable the country to achieve substantial reduction in child mortality. Barapa Central Local Government is home to Oyo State College of Agric, Wema Bank, Polaris Bank, Igboora Microfinance Bank, several secondary schools, several public primary schools. The nearest health facility to us is a state government hospital, which cannot cope with the daily influx of patients. Our target for universal health coverage for Nigerians can only be met when we have access to hospitals. As I speak, Honorable Chairman, Honorable colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is no federal medical center in the whole of Oyo State. This hospital, when established, will be the first and perhaps the only in the whole of Oyo State, and will take care of over 13 local government areas in Oyo State and part of the state shared boundaries. My constituents are in dire need of this federal medical center. I therefore call on my local colleagues, distinguished stakeholders, and I urge you to give your valid support and allow this bill to pass the test of public hearing. I thank you very much for this opportunity.
That was a fine presentation. You are welcome, Honorable. May I call on the sponsor of this bill for an act to establish the Federal Medical Center in Billiri, Gombe State, and for other related matters. Please rise and address us for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, sir, may I remind the stakeholders here that this is the House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we do not allow clapping during public hearing, please. And again, let me remind you that this is the House of Representatives Committee on Health Institutions. You must properly make use of your nose mask, please. We are pleading, please. Honorable Victor Mela.
The Honorable Speaker, House of Representatives, the Chairman Committee, Health Institutions, Senators here present, distinguished honorable members, former governors around, representative of Gombe State Governor, Minister of the FCT, Chairman of APC Gombe State, Chairman Balanga and Billiri local government, the Chairman of the party, representative of Itangle, the Itangale Traditional Council, Chief of Staffs here present, representative of the CMD, professors of the zone present here and doctors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Today marks yet another important day in the annals of the House of Representatives. We have all gathered here to witness and participate in another stage of the lawmaking process constitutionally assigned to all lawmakers. This is in line with the bill to establish the Federal Medical Center Billiri in Gombe State. Lawmakers everywhere in the world are representatives and mouthpieces of the citizenry. Among other functions, lawmakers are to project and protect the general interest and well-being of the citizenry. On this note, it is my delight to warmly welcome my dear colleagues, distinguished stakeholders, and constituent to the public hearing by the House of Representatives Health Committee on Health Institutions. You may wish to know, Billiri local government is strategically located in southern Gombe, and areas and also borders with Gombe Central Senatorial District in Gombe. It has an existing general hospital that will serve as infrastructural facility for the medical center's successful takeoff. To further elaborate on the above, southern Gombe, which sits on the landmass of over 4,000 square kilometers, with a combined population of more than 3 million, it's time without any tertiary institution. The situation calls for immediate concern, immediately, and attention, considering that the entire state has only one overstretched federal teaching hospital. Similarly, research has shown that tertiary health facilities make up only 0.2% of health facilities in the country. The low number of tertiary health facilities by unit population can lead to lengthy wait time for specialized care. As such, more needs to be done to provide additional tertiary health facilities. This is important as it will provide the required health services to individuals who are in their needs. Gombe State has an approximate population of over 3 million residents that consists of 331 health facilities across 11 local governments. Of this, 96% are primary health care, 22 secondary health care facilities, and only one is tertiary health care. The establishment of Federal Medical Center Billiri will go a long way to reduce the burden on the overstretched Federal Teaching Hospital Gombe and also health facilities in northeastern part of the country. The proposed Federal Medical Center Billiri will also be able to provide services to people around Borno, Adamawa, Taraba, and so on. At this juncture, let me, on behalf of the good people of my constituency and the entire Gombe State, mostly sincerely express gratitude to the Speaker, Chairman, and distinguished honorable members of this committee for letting this bill to come to public hearing. I strongly believe that with time, when eventually established, the scope of the philosophy of medical center will gradually expand to further encompass excellence in training and research, so that when the time comes, we can rightly say that hospitals stand at the tripod of excellence with various fields and health sectors. Finally, it is on this premise that I urge to use this occasion to advance the cause of our health system as a nation in line with global best practices. This is an opportunity that we must not miss. Thank you very much.
Honorable Mela, you are welcome. May I call on the sponsor of this bill for an act to provide for the legal framework to establish the Federal Medical Center in Anambra State and other related matters.
Honorable Chinedu Sam Mwaso.
Honorable Chinedu Mwaso, please rise and address us just for 5 minutes.
The Right Honorable Speaker, my chairman, all the senators here, my colleagues, honorable members here, the FCC minister, and every other high-ranking government official here, traditional and town leaders, I want at this point to observe every other protocol. My name is Sam Chinedu Onwuaso. Like I said, I represent Oka North and South Federal Constituency. I'm from Anambra State. The main reason for asking the legislators to support this bill and to bring it to this floor for the public hearing and to beg that the establishment of the medical center at Igboora will serve the purpose of the masses, which is what we are asking for. I have a program that I want to address you from. Mbakwe is located here at a single reach. The agrarian communities in over 12 local governments, both within and outside Anambra State, will have access to it. Ibaji in Kogi State, Osimiri in Delta State, you have Udi and some environs from Enugu State. The closest also from Abia State will only take about 40 minutes. But if you are sick from those areas, the nearest medical center, Federal Medical Center, is at Owerri. And the closest you can traverse through the traffic will take you 4 hours. So even the smallest case of malaria, if you are taking somebody who is very sick of malaria, you can only beg God that he doesn't die after passing for 4 hours to take him to the medical center at Owerri. And why are people asking for Federal Medical Centers? It brings cheap medical services. It brings people who are qualified, because for the ministry to send any doctor to any medical center, he must have gone through some level of qualifications and properly assessed. And you see that these things will work for the common Nigerian. Let us leave the elites who can always travel outside the country or go to any big private establishments. But we need the Federal Medical Center, especially that of Mubi. It will serve the agrarian communities. It will also bring succor to the less privileged. Finally, let us talk of what we are having today, the COVID-19 pandemic. The medical center will help to also educate the local masses of the need, not what the social media is carrying. The need not only to take the vaccines, but also to be able to identify and to go for checkups. Because if it starts there, like the people that are coming from all localities we are talking about today, you see that most of them will enter here, we are talking of COVID-19. If they don't have a place to be checked, how to prove them? So I plead with you all, help that the Federal Medical Center will be established. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Hello.
Mr. Chairman,
hello.
With your kind permission, sir, as we move on, may I recognize the presence of some of the dignitaries here. We have the former governor, 2 former governors of Adamawa State, His Excellency Bala James Billiri, and of course, our own distinguished senator, and of course, His Excellency Jibrila Bindo. We also have here the Honorable Minister of FCT, Musa Mohammed Bello. You're welcome, sir. We have distinguished Senator Mohammed Mana. We have distinguished Senator Joshua Lidani from Gombe State. we have distinguished Senator, we have Honorable Ahmed Sajo, we have Professor Abba Asawazi. From Gombe State, we also have Honorable Nite K. Mangal, the APC State Chairman, and of course, so many other dignitaries. Mr. Chairman, I do not intend to take much time. As we move, as we progress, I will introduce other dignitaries. You are in charge, sir.
Okay. So, I think starting from the bill for an act to establish Federal Medical Center in Mubi, let me now use this opportunity to invite some people who want to speak in favor of this bill. So that we use the opportunity to decongest this place, because I know more than 40% of the people here are those who came for this Mubi bill, for Mubi Federal Medical Center. So let's just thrash it out now so that they can help us to decongest this our small hall. May I call on the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory to just use 5 minutes and address us, 5 minutes or less than that, so that he can retire to his office, because I know he runs a very busy office. You are welcome, Honorable Minister.
The Honorable Chairman of this very honorable committee, the Vice Chairman, all honorable members of the committee present here, with specific reference to the sponsor of the bill, Honorable Jafar Abubakar Malaki, and the honorable member representing Madakali, distinguished senators, former senators, the Excellency, former governor of Adamawa State, the Excellency, the other former governor of Adamawa State, Billiri, the chairman of the party in Adamawa State, and the distinguished members of the party ESCO, our elder statesmen present here, particularly Your Royal Highness, the Waziri of Mubi, Professor Abba Hassan, the representative of the traditional rulers present here, distinguished stakeholders from Gombe, Oyo, and Anambra State, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable members, I don't have much to add with respect to this bill, except to say that I wholeheartedly support the bill, because the reasoning for why we need to have a federal medical center in Mubi has been well articulated by Honorable Judge. The historical, political, geographical, demographical, and other reasons that he has justified, I think for justice and fair play and for equity, it is very important for us to have a federal medical center in Mubi. I rest my case. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, I wish subsequent speakers,
Professor Isa Ayatu Chiroma, SAN, Director General, Nigerian Law School. You're welcome, sir. Professor Ladia Malai, the former Director General, National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay. So let me also call on immediate past governor of Adamawa State and a very close friend of my brother, former governor of Igboora, to please address us for another 5 minutes.
The chairman of this great committee, members of the committee, may I stand in the already established protocol? However, I think I must recognize some dignitaries, some of our elders that are here. We have our own Waziri of Mubi, Professor Abba, my elder brother, who was a principal officer in the Secretariat. We have a lot of professors that are here purposely for this bill. I think I don't have to speak for 5 minutes. I just need 1 minute. I'm a politician. I know when to talk and I know when to support things. As a non-serving senator, there is no former senator, only non-serving. I think my own junior brother, Honorable Jafar, has done his job very well. We, the people of Mubi, or the entire senatorial zone, are very proud of him. And like my senior brother, the former minister, just said, there's nothing much to say really on this bill, because there's no point flogging things. By the population of Mubi alone, Mubi's status is not an honorary town, it's a state status. And if you go by history, like what the Honorable said, Yazama Dole is very important for this FMC to be in Mubi because of the historic nature and the support of our people to the federal government. Mubi has been an APC, even where there was no APC, Mubi has been an APC area. The entire senatorial zone, I'm sure my elder brothers here will confirm that we've been supporting the president and will continue to support the entire federal government. And this institution is a fair institution. I want to appeal to my friend, the chairman, please look at this thing with fairness. It's a very straightforward issue, and I want to agree with my member that we need this hospital in Mubi because of our people. At this point, let me use this opportunity once more to thank my own brother. I'm very proud of him, and I've seen a lot of stakeholders from my constituency, which where I came from and which where he is also from. We will support you. I want to seize this opportunity. I'm sure a lot of people will grumble, but as a senior stakeholder in Mubi, I want to declare that we are bringing back Jaffa because he is here and is doing the right thing. And I want to correct the MC. My senior brother, the former governor of Adamawa State, is also part of this institution. But like Billiri was a qualified member of House of Reps, I'm sure he was not able to at that time. So I think for record purposes, next time address him as a honorable for Excellency. I want to say thank you very much and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are on live to GTV Africa, live from National Assembly. A public hearing is going on concerning health matters, and the Committee on Health has already called for memorandum, an invitation from the public on the bill to establish a federal medical center in Gombe, to establish a medical center in Igboora and many other places.
The Honorable Chairman of this Honorable Committee, stakeholders from Mubi and other states. First and foremost, let me appreciate good work that Adamawa is doing under the leadership of very good brother, Honorable Friend, who have brought themselves together in the 6th National Assembly. Let me also appreciate the honorable member for bringing this bill here. And I'm sure under this leadership of this chairman, this bill passed beside this federal medical center in Mubi. So it is the Senate and President passed the bill. What is left now? I know honorable chairman will do it. There are so many reasons, and so many reasons have been advanced why federal medical center is certain. One of the first things is that this Mubi is central to both northern Gombe and Adamawa State. So about 7 local governments are going to benefit from this federal medical center. It is decided in Mubi. Secondly, Mubi is the commercial capital of Adamawa State, while Yola is the federal, political capital. We are both very large market, very big border market, that they will even have medical tourism. Some people will come from neighboring countries of Chad and Cameroon especially. The other reason is that Mubi was the provincial capital. 13 provinces in the north. Of all these 13 provinces, only Mubi that has not gone to the medical center. Very good reason why it should be cited. As a former legislator, I know that prepared by time, and therefore, based on this, support this bill, and also urge the committee to support it. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, sir, we have here representing the Nigerian Medical Association,
where from all indications,
Vice
everyone is
President
speaking
of Nigerian
good
Medical Association, Professor
of each
Razak
of the
Adebayo,
environments,
and
as I
of course the
said
Deputy
earlier.
Secretary General, Dr. Sadi
The person
Husseini.
that I just
We
spoke
also have
now
the
just
Director
spoke
General,
about
Nigerian
Mubi,
Building and
Adamawa
Road Research
State,
Institute,
believing
Professor
that
Samson
cited
Tuna.
in
You're
Mubi,
welcome.
Adamawa State is going to be of a good thing.
Okay.
Also, the Anambra State, another one is expected to come up in Anambra State, while another one is expected to come up in Gombe State. Igboora in Oyo State.
The Director General, Nigerian Law School, Professor Chirama, to address us for just a couple of minutes, not exceeding 5.
Chairman of this session, Vice Chairman, other distinguished honorable members here present, most esteemed elders from our constituency, good morning to you all. Mine is to adumbrate what my honorable member has just said. May I refer you to section 14, subsection 2, and subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution amended. What is the function of a government? The function of a government is to provide security and welfare of the people. That's the primary function of a government. Similarly, in doing that, government should look at agencies so that they'll be cited fairly. So all speakers here today have spoken about development. All of us are elected, you sitting down here so that we can benefit. And I think that's the essence. Mubi has a population of almost over 3 million. With neighboring states, Cameroon, somebody was even saying Southern Sudan. What we are saying is just give us this medical center. You've seen the caliber of people. 2 non-serving senators, the former minister, including the chairman of Dental and Medical Council. The needful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Prof, you are welcome. You started by citing section 14 of the 1999 Constitution, the essence of government as to the provision of security and welfare. Welfare includes health. And one must be alive before he enjoys the welfare. So may we concentrate attention on security this time around. It's more important before we talk about welfare, because the security situation in the country now is quite inclement. So let us think more of security than welfare. We can manage the little hospitals we have if we have adequate security. Thank you. That's just a little digression. Let me call on. Yes, you push me. Let me call on Professor Usiju Medana. Professor Usiju Medana, do you have anything to add? Is he here? He's not around. He's stepping down. Then Ahmed Sajo. Ahmed Sajo. Okay, just for 2-3 minutes. We are rounding up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members, respected elders here. When you are sick, you go to the hospital. When you seek knowledge, you go to the school. When you want to buy groceries, you go to the market. But when you want democracy, you come to the parliament. That's why we're here. We want democracy dividends. We want you to support the fact that a federal medical center should be established in Mubi. Why? We're the most cosmopolitan and the most commercial in our state. I learned to speak Yoruba on the streets of Mubi, not in the southwest. I learned to speak Igbo in the streets of Mubi. I'm a member of the cabinet of the Eze Igbo in Mubi. I learned to speak Igboora, Igala, and many other languages on the streets. We are the most cosmopolitan. We have about 10 of the major banks have branches in Mubi. Why? Because there is a volume of trade in Mubi that is beyond expectations because of our commercial nature. I want to also tell you that very, very sincerely that we need a federal medical center in Mubi because we have lost so many of our people. The nearest tertiary hospitals we have are in Maiduguri. You can't go there now because Boko Haram has blocked the road. The second one is in Gombe. You can't go to Gombe. Between Biu and Gombe, Boko Haram said you can't go. You can't go to Yola because it's about three hours or more, and you can die on the way if you have a critical case. So we are saying that the federal medical center in Mubi is very imperative. It's very desirous. It's very, very important for you to support that. Let me conclude very briefly, Mr. Chairman, by saying we are grateful that the Senate passed this bill yesterday. We're sure we're going to say we're grateful that the House of Representatives had also passed the bill in no distant future. We will remember that you are part of the people that have given us fairness and justice, that have served our people. And we will always continue to remember that it was during your time that you supported this bill and that we got a federal medical center. Let me say, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Those of you that are from the southwest, we are very, very grateful. Well done. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
You the people from the west in their own dialect or language. You say those of you from the east,
of the National Assembly is the of Igboora, the Senate Chairman on Senate Committee on Land Transport. You're welcome, sir.
Okay. You're welcome, distinguished. Okay, may I call on Professor Abba Hassan? Professor Abba Hassan, is he here? Just 3 minutes and procedure. Yes. Yes. And I learned he's a professor of medicine. So he may not even have
Honorable Chairman.
established.
Honorable Chairman, distinguished members, stakeholders, I wish to stand on the existing protocols. I want to state that a lot of things have been said by our sister and Honorable Jafar, the Senator and the House of representing us. I just want to fill a few gaps in the sense that from 1966, Mubi was the capital of the country, which is no
northern Nigeria. Northern Nigeria provinces have now become 19 states. Some of the provinces were split into three. While Mubi as Adamawa province, which at that time had the present 14 local governments, 5 in northern Adamawa, in southern Adamawa, 3 in southern Taraba, and 3 in southern Borno. Now, Mubi as a capital of the Trans Territory between 1960, as a radio station, as an airstrip, flights coming direct from New York to Mubi. Population over 3 million, which includes several ethnic influxes. After the invaded it and it was liberated in 2015, it has only one federal institution, the Federal Polytechnic. Mubi still remains a hub of commercial activity in Adamawa. Traders coming from Cameroon, livestock trades from as far as Chad, and agri-production and consumable production trades as far as Kano, Billiri and Gombe. Mubi is well qualified for location of Federal Medical Center. It has several of its interns who are qualified consultants serving in Billiri, Gombe, and even in Zaria. In view of its accessibility and in Nigeria and across the border of countries like Cameroon and Chad, it is well deserved. For the purpose of fairness and equity, it deserves a federal center. As I said, in the 19 provinces of northern Nigeria, which formed, Mubi was the third, and all of them that have been split. So, before passing, I hope the House of concur. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, we have here representing the Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment, the Director of Occupation, Safety and Health of that ministry, Mrs. Adogu Loretta Neka, and Dr. Umu Abubakar Ashim. You're welcome. Mai Tangale and Waziri of Mubi, you're welcome.
Okay. So, are you done? May I call on maybe the last speaker from Mubi, Ladi Hamali, Director General, Institute of Health.
Professor Ladi Hamali, the immediate past Director General of National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NIS.
Is he around?
Yes.
Okay.
House Committee on Institutions, may I please stand on existing protocol? I appreciate the opportunity to have a 1-minute presentation here. I was here yesterday. I attended the public hearing on the establishment of the same bill, but for home local government. Let me reiterate what I said yesterday. I told them that even though my mother is from home, local government, my late mother, the interests of this country, interests of fairness and democracy, that the status of Mubi cannot be underrepresented. Several speakers have already mentioned the important status of Mubi. I also made mention that a center for medical tourism in this country. Several countries will patronize it. As it is today, on a weekly basis, traders come from different countries to the Mubi international markets. And it will be a source of pride for this country to locate a federal medical center, a befitting federal medical center in Mubi. It's something that should not even be argued about. Thank you so much for listening.
Okay, we are moving to FMC Billiri. Okay. Who are they? Okay, we are done with the bill for establishment of federal medical center in Mubi, so that the supporters may decide to take their leave so that we have more space for people coming in. That's why I took your own first, because I know you are many. By the time we get back to the committee level, we will now aggregate all your inputs and then make a decision from onward presentation to the larger house and the chairman. Okay, Mike, for the of this bill on from Act to establish Federal Medical Center Billiri in Gombe State. He has addressed us. I now call on other speakers in support of Federal Medical Center Billiri to come and address us. I call on Senator Joshua Lidani. Senator Joshua Lidani.
May we please take our seats so that we can listen to the next speaker inside the place.
Okay, Your Excellency, just for 3 minutes, you address us.
Let's take our seat, please. Please.
Okay.
From all indications, those that are through presentation are taking their leave out of the building to make things so easy. And the whole house will have enough time. Yes. Sorry.
Members of this esteemed committee, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I rise to support the bill for the establishment of the Federal Medical Center Billiri, as moved by our able representative, Mr. demonstrated demonstrated considerable leadership in this matter. Thank you, honorable member. Mr. Chairman, I support this bill for two main reasons. One, it is meritorious. This bill deserves to be passed. One, because Billiri has adequate infrastructure to take care of the immediate takeoff of this federal medical center. There is an existing hospital in Billiri. Billiri used to serve as the headquarters of former Adamawa local government. So these are adequate facilities that will warrant the immediate takeoff of the federal medical center in Billiri. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, Billiri lies or is close to the area that is as the snake belt of the region. That is where there are a lot of poisonous snakes, and this has resulted in a lot of casualties over the years because of the lack of antidote or antidote. The presence of a federal medical center in Billiri will serve to help in saving so many lives from that area that have been lost to snake bites. It will also serve as a research center for research into the issue of snake bites with a view to providing antivenom. Furthermore, Your Excellency and honorable members of this Constitution, Billiri is centrally located within Gombe territorial district and can be able to extend services in a wide range of places, not only in Gombe State but beyond, because it's close to the border with Anambra, it's close to the border, and therefore patients can be attracted to come to Billiri and lives can be saved. Secondly, Honorable Chairman, this bill deserves to be passed because of equity. Equity in the sense that there is no federal tertiary institution in Gombe South, major tertiary institution. If Billiri is established, it will serve as federal medical center that is data for 4 local governments, including Akko and Yemen, and therefore we will be serving a chunk of the state. Presently, the only federal institution, health institution, is in Billiri, and it cannot cover the entire state. And therefore, for equity, I think Gombe South deserves to have a federal medical center. And therefore, honorable members, I urge you to do your patriotic duty to pass this bill into law as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
Pascal, please, Your Excellency. You're welcome. Okay. Michael and Barrister Mela Audu. Is he here, Barrister Mela Audu? Who brought the name around? Okay. Okay. Ladan, Babakodon. Lawal Babakodon, is he here? Okay, please.
Honorable Anthony Yaru Makamuwaja, you're welcome.
And for those that may be posted to that federal medical center, Billiri, when established, try and equip themselves with antivenom, because we have been alerted there are so many poisonous snakes in that area. So let them be getting ready while federal the bill. That they'll be very equipped to avoid being bitten by snakes.
Okay. Yes.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members of this committee, my brothers and sisters from Gombe, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have a short presentation I have circulated. I want to also say that much of already said. Yeah, much of what I've said in this paper has been speakers, but I just want to emphasize on 1 or 2 points which I have said here.
And one of them is that Gombe South, which is going to be the direct beneficiary of the proposed medical center in Billiri, is an area that lies within the hilly terrain of the Mubi mountain range. And many times it is very, very difficult to bring sick people from the hills down to the main road to a tortuous, long journey to Gombe to receive medical attention. Many have died in the process. Many have resorted to other means of treatment, and so on and so forth. And so a medical center at Billiri will certainly alleviate the suffering of these people, hilly people, and will also reduce the cost of transportation to either Gombe or Yona, a faraway Adamawa state. The second point I have mentioned here, which my colleagues have not dwelled so much on it, is the fact that Gombe State, as it is today, has 3 zones, and the distribution of medical facilities or hospitals in these zones shows that Gombe North has 9 hospitals, Gombe Central has 8 hospitals, while Gombe South has only 6 hospitals. And interestingly, yeah, both there are only one central. The rest are state hospitals. Yes, but all providing health care. So what we are saying is that even in a zone like Gombe Central, with local governments, they have, while Gombe South, yes. The last point, Mr. Chairman, I want to emphasize is the fact the President Gombe Division, Gombe State